Greetings, Moonlight citizens. Welcome to your 84th Moonlight Kingdom Podcast, brought to you by your man on the moon, the Moonlight King. And in this one, we will be discussing traditional lives, traditional marriage, and most importantly, the one topic of discussion that this surrounds, tradwives and the kind of men who want them. That we shall see in this episode of Moonlight Kingdom Podcast. 84? Hell, 84. That'll come down as I'm return once again to the live stream of TikTok about the name of Cuban Canary, and we discuss a very hefty topic here with a bunch of guests in 3, 2, 1, boom.
But you can't even take care of yourself. Like, why would you? I don't know.
It's very concerning because for dudes who want traditional wives, the common thing is a dude will want a traditional wife because it's like, hey, I'm gonna be the head breadwinner. I'm making all the money. You ain't gotta work. All you gotta worry about is staying home, taking care of the house, and taking care of the kids and all that. Dudes who want trad wives, they basically saying that I have the money to support all of us and anything that can happen. So for this dude to want a traditional wife but not be able to support the both of you while actively telling you not to go to work, not to earn money, it's incredibly concerning. Very concerning.
He didn't want me to work. He honestly didn't even like if I would save money he would give me, because he's like, why are you saving money? Because I think he thought I was gonna like do something with it and leave. He was super controlling, and and he also used the Bible. Like, I'm Christian, but he used the Bible, like, against me. He wasn't a traditional husband. He wasn't, like, a godly husband, but he was always so focused on me being submissive and told me I would have to listen to him. And, like, if I had my own thoughts, like, what I wanted for myself, he would make me feel bad, like I was wrong. He knew better than me because he's lived through his 20s already, and he knows. Like, he knows, like, what's best for me.
That's a case of a dude who was more in love with the idea of having a traditional wife than the reality of the situation, because a lot of people do have this idea in their heads of what a traditional wife does, in the sense of, oh, when I leave, they're there. When I come back, they're there. And, oh, everything is just magically okayed. You know, it's their job to make everything magically okayed all by their lonesome, and they have nothing going on of their own. So when the reality come to him and it's like you try to have something going on of your own doing, it's, from his perspective, it's like, hey, what are you doing? You're not matching up with the fantasy in my head.
I seen somebody say I played myself, but it's not like as soon as I met him, it was like overnight he was like controlling and like all this, happened. It was like a very like slow, manipulative process. Obviously, I'm at fault too because, I went forward with it. I had doubts. But, like, in the beginning, he was great. And in the beginning, he was, like, promising me this life and was giving me all this money. And I'm not, like, a gold digger, but, like, I wanted somebody who, like, could take care of me, Like, but that's not, like, it was the emotional abuse, honestly, that made me leave. But I just joined this because I thought it was weird that he wanted a traditional wife and he wanted a submissive wife. And he couldn't afford it. Like, he couldn't even pay his own bills. So why would you put me in survival mode? Like, Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, when I had the opportunity to do something with my life, but instead he wanted to take me from, he didn't want me to go to school, he got me pregnant, like, he didn't want me to do any of that. He wanted me to move in with him so his mom can pay both of our bills. Like, that just doesn't seem fair. I don't know. Like, if you say you're going to take care of somebody, you should take care of them.
Yeah, did this man, he had a job, right? This wasn't a case of he just had money and you didn't think to question what he did for a living. He did have a job.
Yeah, and the weird thing is that he works for his family's company, and I guess he's not good at saving money, because I've never been on the bank account, but I have the card on, like, my Walmart app where you can scan it, but I'm not actually on the bank account, so I don't know what's in there, and there's been times it's, like, denied, like, it's, like, declined on, like, small purchases, and then he doesn't tell me, and then you have to, like, be like, like, what's going on, like, why did it decline? But, yeah, he can't pay his own bills even, like, his mom pays them all, so, and I didn't figure that out until we got married.
Earlier you mentioned how dude would get upset whenever you would try to save money, and, like, he would, like, question you, like, why are you saving money? Like, right away, that is a sign of someone who doesn't know how to handle money or has never had to handle their own money, because this feeling of, hey, why are you bothering to save anything? It hinges from a viewpoint of, hey, the money's never going to stop. There's always going to be money coming in from somewhere. But like anybody who's ever lived paycheck to paycheck or had to work hard for their living knows that, you know, you should save money. There's never this feeling of, oh, the money's always going to be there. There's always going to be this influx of money. It's okay that I don't save anything. I can just cover whatever bill I have with the next month's paycheck. So this...
Yeah. I think that's how he thinks. I think he thinks money comes back in. And once I got pregnant, I remember I kind of figured out his money struggles. And I told him, like, you know, like, we should save money. You never know. And he basically told me he doesn't need my opinion on money because he works and I don't. It's just like he completely changed as a person once, you know, I was pregnant and married to him. He was not like that in the beginning. And then, I don't know. But yeah. He definitely was not good with money whatsoever.
A lot of women who are in toxic relationships have similar stories to that.
All right, I am back.
Yeah. Okay. I was saying, like, a lot of women have similar stories in that, oh, he was not like this in the beginning. So, yeah.
I mean, I give myself grace, too, because it's like I was 19 when I met him. Obviously,
you were a baby?
Yeah, obviously.
You were a baby.
Obviously, I'm at fault, too, but it's like I almost became, like, more, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it was like at first I had, like, fight in me, and I was like, no, I want this for myself. And then it's like almost after a while when he's, like, telling me all the time, like, no, you don't want that. You want this. You're wrong. I'm right. I know what I'm talking about. I'm, like, I almost trusted him in a way, like, oh, I don't know, because I'm like, oh, this older man, like, he's steering me the right way, but it did always scare me that I didn't have something to fall back on. Because now I'm in this position where I divorced him. I moved out. I'm 21 now, and I live at home. And it's like really, it's honestly, it's just really hard for me to get back on my feet now because I have a 9-month-old.
Yeah. No, and here's the ugly part of it also that people don't want to discuss. If you want to go back into work, you're actually going to fuck your kid up in the long run because you're in, like, the key developmental states of, like, helping the kid develop healthy attachments subconsciously, intrinsically, and it's not going to be a good fucking time in the long run for how your kid turns out if you're just like, fuck it, I'm going to just shove you. I mean, have you considered doing any type of, like, online work or remote work if you can get into it?
Honestly, not really. I thought about working in general, and I agree with that. Like, the thing is like, if I were to get a job, it's like I wouldn't be getting ahead. I wouldn't be able to afford a babysitter and rent and all that.
But it's not about you affording a babysitter at that point, because if you're doing a stay-at-home job, or you could even go ahead and do school from home.
Yeah.
Especially if your family is willing to go ahead and support you through that.
Well, there are colleges that offer distance learning.
Yeah, that's the thing is I keep seeing comments too. People are like, where were your parents? It's like, yeah, my parents are around. Well, my dad's not really. My mom is, but she's like, I don't, you know, like she's there, but no, yeah. I just don't have a lot of like support. It was honestly hard to leave him because of that.
And that's also why it was easy for him to get a hold of you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I feel like he figured it out pretty fast, and
he's a 29-year-old man.
Yeah.
He figured it the fuck out.
Yeah, he figured it out pretty fast. No, he's like he's almost 31 now, but he was 29 and I was 19 when I met him.
Yeah, no. Well, I can tell you this: congratulations on dodging a bullet.
Yeah.
As much of a bullet as you could dodge.
Yeah.
What's your advice for young girls getting into relationships now? Because you definitely, how do I say it? Okay, I'm not going to try to fucking sugarcoat it. I'm going to just come out of it. You got out into the fucking world and you got hit with the baby bat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Like
you got hit upside the head with a bat that fucking, a lot of girls might, like, they think they want to get hit over the head with until they fucking get hit over the head with that shit.
Yeah. I know. I would tell them, like, don't rush to, like, have a baby. Don't rush to get married. Definitely go to school. Enjoy being young. I honestly, like, I am almost, like, jealous of girls my age now because I'm like, I should have just went to school, and I had these, like, wants and things I wanted to do with myself. Like, I wanted to go to school, but I took a different way. I didn't even think it was an easy way out. I just felt like after a while when I was going down that path, I just kind of like accepted it. And I felt stuck before I was even like stuck. I don't even like know. But like once you have a baby with somebody, like you're gonna have to deal with them for the next 18 years. So just make sure like that person is the right person, because like it's I would just tell young girls to wait.
Here's the fact of the matter: you don't stop dealing with your kids once they turn 18. Like, I know that was that might have been your experience with your family dynamic, but the reality of it is you don't stop.
Yeah.
Especially if you give a damn about your kids. Not insinuating that your parents don't give a damn about you. I think they do.
Yeah. No.
I like to think they do.
No, I mean 18 years, not with your kid, with the person you have a child with.
Oh, yeah. Even if during those 18 years something happens and your relationship doesn't work out, you are going to be forced to maintain some kind of relationship with this dude, for the sake of the kid.
Decorum.
Yeah.
At least.
And I cooked and I cleaned and I did everything a traditional wife should do. So I never, I don't want to be inappropriate, but I always whatever too. But he just.
But I will tell you this. Having done the college experience, having gotten my degree, having done the whole shit, the dating world sucks. If you're looking for a partner, you're going to have to be a little bit more stringent now. But just giving you that heads up, the dating world sucks. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Sex is overrated. It really is. It really, really is. College is really just like high school drama 2.0, especially if you decide to go into it from that perspective. You got people who do not want, who are not there for the right reasons. They're just there to carry on their high school experience and see if they flop or not. And now they just have legal access to alcohol and, more nefarious substances.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really easy to get distracted. So, I definitely did more of a hybrid. I was also, I don't know, I'm kind of like, stupid. So I didn't participate in all this shit, but I definitely participated in some of the shit. Not worth it.
I'm Christian, so I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't party. So also at the same time when I got married, I was like, okay, and I was 20 by the time I got married. I was like, okay, well this isn't bad because, I'm like skipping the college experience, I guess, but it's not a big deal because I feel like a lot of it is partying. Because a lot of people go to college and get a degree and don't use it, or go to college because, they don't know what to do right then and their parents want them to do something, so they just go to college and get a degree. They don't,
Well, a lot of people get a degree because the job they're looking for requires a degree. Just not a specific degree, but just the fact that it's like you got a degree in something.
Yeah. I was going to go to beauty school. I was going to do hair, and I was enrolled and everything.
You do know that there are programs that will help single mothers go through that, right? And depending on what school you go to, if you have I don't know. I would definitely recommend, in your situation right now, get a trade, make money off of that. Trade school is something I think for beauty school, it's something like 2 years.
Yeah, it's not long. It's 2 years.
10, 20K.
Yeah, it's I think it was $10,000 for the whole thing, or 8.
Yeah.
And it was with a community college though.
And that's okay, because you can still go ahead and go to a community college and get your trade. And honestly, if you want to fucking kill 2 birds with 1 stone, get your AA and get a fucking certificate in a trade. And that actually opens up a lot more doors, and then you don't have to deal with stupid bullshit if you decide you want to go and get a bachelor's.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and I've also applied for assistance and all that because, there's a program here, it's called Link, where basically they pay for a babysitter and the food stamps and all that, but I don't qualify because I'm 21 and I live at home with my parents. And if you're under 22 years old, you have to put your parents' income if you live with them in West Virginia. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, my parents don't give me money or anything, so I guess I've just been taking care of my son. I turned 22 in August, and I guess I've just been like, I guess I'll just wait until I turn 22 and apply again, because I can't afford babysitter right now, plus diapers and all that. I don't have anybody to, like, watch my son while I go to beauty school. I'm not really interested in any other schooling, really, besides, like, doing hair or something like that.
No, dude, and listen, also, if you want to be kind of smart about it, get your degree in for beauty school, get those certificates, get that trade under your belt, and then take a couple of classes in business. You don't have to get a degree in business, but take a couple of classes, kind of absorb that, because then technically you can open up your own space, or even better, you could open up a space and then rent out other shares in your space, and then you're making more money. People are still getting jobs. Like, now you're a business owner.
Can I be honest, though? I honestly still do like the idea of, like, a traditional marriage. I don't have anything against that. I keep seeing comments, too, people saying, oh, how much does a traditional wife cost? Not, like, if I'm reasonable, and I was always reasonable, but if you can't even pay your own bills, like, you know, that's, I don't think, like, so highly of myself that I need Louis Vuitton and all that. I just wanted somebody who was nice to me, who loved each other, who paid the bills, who took care of us. I wanted something to fall back on, but I wanted to stay home. I still, like, love the idea of staying home and taking care of the kids and cooking and cleaning. I think that can work if, you know, people are nice to each other and stuff. It doesn't always work, because sometimes guys want that, but they take it and they pervert it, and it becomes abusive.
Hold on for 1 minute. Hello, Kitty. We got Sir Robert James Beard. I have invited you to come onto the panel at least 3 times now, because you keep on talking a lot of shit. I'd love to actually go ahead and have this conversation. So I would encourage you to come up and, you know, be a man and have a conversation. Because this isn't necessarily, you know, an attack on anything or anybody. It's a conversation. It's a question. So,
why would you, as a broke woman, want a man who makes 6 figures? Okay, then why do men expect a wife who cooks for them, cleans for them, does all the housework, does their laundry, puts out whenever? Like, it's, like, beneficial to both people. Like, I think men and women have different jobs, and that dynamic can work if, like, both people are nice to each other. But
here's another thing, right? So no one is here sitting here and fucking proclaiming that, like, broke women want rich men, right? What the main proclamation, and it's not even a proclamation, it's a question. Why do you want a traditional woman when you cannot afford one? Why do you want a stay-at-home wife when you cannot even afford to go ahead and support your set? What you say, like, what you own, support yourself. Why are you wanting to go ahead and bring another person into the fold, you know, when you're not even completely sure or confident in what you got going on? And not only that, you're very insecure with your resources and with your money. So that is really the crux of this situation. Sir Robert James Beard, number 1, I'm not going to go to coffee with you. I'm a married woman. Number 2, we can have this conversation right here. Would you like for these 2 to go so you and I can have an individual conversation? Like, I don't necessarily know what to make of this right now. You just kind of sound like you want to bitch and complain.
I know. No, people are, like, really mean in the comments.
Yeah, there's been a lot of odd statements being made, mostly to do with money, even though the conversation hasn't really been directed towards money. But earlier in the conversation, someone brought up...
but the conversation has not, and that I will agree.
I think men, like, get insecure about money a lot, and...
Of course.
So they just point at women and be like, oh, you're a gold digger, when it's like women are just attracted to, like... They're attracted to financial stability, not because they're gold diggers all the time, because it just proves, like, you know, you're responsible, you know how to, like, handle yourself, you know how to handle money.
You need to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. You know, it's this thing of, before you can bring on another person into your life and the way you live, you need to be able to, like, carry your own weight. It's like, if you're living by yourself, it's like, okay, do you have enough to fill your own fridge? Do you have your own place, your own car or some shit. Like, can you stand on your own before you ask someone else to stand with you? That's yeah. That's
And
basically what I
I
see.
don't like, I don't sell myself. I'm not like, who's the highest bidder on my body or anything like that. I just, as in this world, if you want a traditional wife, you have to be able to afford it. It's expensive. You have to be able to afford food, like you said, housing, all that. If she's going to stay home and do all that stuff, then you have to be able to afford her needs too, as long as it's not like completely unreasonable. Like I said, I wasn't asking for like a Louis Vuitton bag, but I wanted to feel like I could put my full trust in him, and like I wanted to feel secure with him. Like, okay, he can provide for us. He can take care of the bills. He can put food on the table. Like, he can put food in the fridge, and then I can make the food. Like, I think it's like, partnership.
Especially in this economy.
To provide. Yeah.
Yeah. Though
People are stupid.
that has been the way for centuries at this point. Though I must ask, given everything that's been discussed, there are some, like, in terms of like looking for a traditional wife, is like, what would you say is the thing that differentiates a traditional wife from a trophy wife?
What's the difference between a traditional wife and a trophy wife?
Yeah, from your perspective, given that they both have that similarity thing of like, oh, you don't have to work, I just need you to like be here when I leave, be here when I get back, like you're, what from your view of things.
So,
yeah.
and I think you just kind of pointed out, I think the trophy wife doesn't have an expectation to do anything in the house.
Yeah.
Like, she has no expectation bestowed upon her. Trophy wives have maids. Trophy wives have chefs. A trophy wife literally just exists to be the voluptuous, bimboed up trophy. That's it.
Yeah, that is true. Like, her husband.
I think the quote unquote traditional wife, mind you, she can still be very beautiful, and she can still be very like good at taking care of herself and all these things. But she's also taking charge of the home.
Yeah, I would like to say I was traditional, or I wanted to be traditional. I'm still really young. I'm 21, but like, I'm Christian. I didn't always agree with him, but like for most of the time, if we had a disagreement or we needed to agree on something, we would come together and we would go with what he wanted or whatever. I cooked, I cleaned, I took care of the kid. He really didn't help with our son that much. Like, I just think there's a big difference. I think trophy wives, like you said, they just are supposed to look good. I also still did take care of myself.
I'll say this. You're 21,
yes.
Right? You said? Don't worry about being a traditional woman. You have your values. Don't label your values. Don't label yourself to fall in. Because the minute you're saying, well, I want to be a traditional woman, you're going to invite a lot of people who are going to try to woo you and take advantage of you because of that mindset. Best thing I can say is keep your values, be observant, be a little bit cautious with who you choose to bring home, considering you have a child. And
I would never, like, just
no, but you know what I mean. Like, whoever you choose to introduce your child, like introduce into your child's life, be particular, be picky.
And yeah, and I don't
be picky with their character. And honestly, even this for women who don't have children, you should be picky with a man's character.
Of course, and I don't
worry so much about his wallet. Worry about his character. I promise you.
Oh, yeah, no, and honestly,
the wallet can grow and shrink at any given point in time. A man's character cannot.
And I feel like with my ex or whatever, even though he didn't have a lot of money, he didn't have money. His mom paid the bills, but I've still kind of experienced what it's like to not have to pay for anything. Like, even though his mom was paying for stuff, like I can't. I would never just marry for money. Like,
baby girl, you've been living with what is. You stayed with your parents before you moved off with this dude. You haven't experienced paying for many shit for your own solo dolo self.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, I would never marry for money. And I don't, like, when I talk to the guys, I don't present myself like, I do this, I do that, I do this. Because I don't know. I just feel like that's kind of weird to be like, I cook, I clean, I do this. I don't know. I just, like, want to, find somebody maybe one day. But I do have those morals. I don't sleep around either. Like, I don't just go around, like...
Good.
Yeah.
Good, so you do have a price on your body. Good.
Yeah. But a lot of it.
The price should be character.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is invaluable. It is priceless. Good character. Just saying.
Important to have self-esteem out here.
And it's not because I'm like, oh, I have to be traditional and I have to do this for my man. Honestly, this is just what things I want for myself. This is how I want to carry myself and I think a lot of it has to do with my faith. So, not really as much as like, oh, I have to do this for a man. It's just something I would like to do. But I do hate that I did it for my ex because he definitely wasn't the right guy.
You shouldn't.
Life's not over, so it's okay.
No. Listen to me very clearly. You should not hate that you did things from a good place and from a good heart and from a desire to be a good woman and a good wife. For a man who was quote unquote undeserving of it. Because at the end of the day, we don't deserve jack squat as people. We don't. We are not deserving of anything. No. We're not entitled to anything. Nope. But you have that beautiful concept within yourself to do for people. Right? Especially when you care, especially when you want to work as a unit and make things happen. So don't be like, oh, I hate that I did that for that person. Because then technically you're saying, I hate that I am a good person. I hate that I am a giving person. That's a beautiful thing. I've learned a different way of approaching it is I've learned that I don't want to do these things for a person who I do not deem worth it or who I do not deem as compatible to what I want with my life. That is a healthier way of looking at it than being like, I'm pissed. I did this for a dude who didn't deserve shit.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, and I'm getting a lot of comments that's saying she thinks she's the prize and she has a kid and she's being like, honestly, I completely understand that I have a kid, and if I were to meet a guy and I tell him I have a kid and he's like, okay, well, I don't want to be with somebody who already has a kid, I don't get offended. I would not be offended by that. I don't think highly of myself. I don't have this big ego.
You wouldn't want to be around those people anyway.
Yeah, but I understand it, it's not like I get bitter or I get upset when somebody's like, you have a kid, like, I can't be with you. It's like, yeah, okay, I completely understand. It's a big change. It's a big responsibility. I can't expect somebody to, like, want to be with me if they don't want a kid. Just because, even though I am who I am, I'm bringing a kid along, that changes the whole dynamic of things. So I understand that and I don't get upset about it.
I'm going to go ahead and give the floor to Seeker. I think that was your name. I saw you in the queue. How are you, man?
Hi, how are you? You
I'm
okay?
good.
Excellent.
I'd love to hear your take.
Do you want me to say something or do you want me to wait?
I'm assuming you wanted to respond to the prompt?
Yes, I would like to. I feel that a lot of men, or just not men, just people right now, are a lot of pressure through the economy, the inflation. A lot of people, especially in the West, they tend to have this pride of leaving their home early, especially males, when it's not the wisest decision to do that, but they do that so they can apparently have independence. But all they're doing is just coming into people like me who will take advantage of them and who will make a lot of money on them. I see this happen every day. My profession is real estate. I've been in real estate since I was 18. I'm now 43. I made a lot of money in it. And people that come out for rentals, especially young ones that come out of their mum's house and daddy's house, I eat them alive on rental because I need to eat too.
So what does this have anything to do with the topic? I hear a lot of inflating your position in society and your fiscal situation, but what does this have to do with the topic?
It goes back to for those who don't understand it connects to your household, your roof over your head, your bills, your overheads is what's holding you back to be able to be that traditional man, to be able to afford to pay for that traditional woman, to have that let woman, if she wants to stay at home and you provide a roof over her head and so on and so forth. In my position, this is what I'm saying, in my position in real estate, like I'm saying, real estate is one of the biggest companies that take a lot of money out of people's pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Real estate is a
lot of money
business,
gets
not
ciphered out from their pockets.
So what you're proclaiming, in other words, and I'm just trying to see if I can make sense of this, is men who are in lower tax brackets shouldn't even be having this conversation because they can't afford that lifestyle in order to give that to a woman?
Afford the lifestyle, because if you put yourself in a position that you cannot, that your rent is taking at least over 50, just over, maybe if it's touching 50% of your salary, then you will sink. Especially if you are not keeping up to date on what is coming soon. I'm not going to go deeper into that, but there's something going to be coming that's going to hit the economy even harder. And I can see in the comment section, so a lot of people, if you can see the comment section, they will say things like, no one cares, why are you guys flexing? I'm not, bro. I'm just telling you what I see in my profession.
Chief, ignore the comments. Focus on topic at hand. So you're saying, you were talking about, like, you know, people's finances and how, you know, the bills they got going on is what's stopping them from being traditional men and having this kind of relationship, right? Focusing on that. Keep talking.
Okay. So, you know, a lot of people, they also, they're consumers. They're not producers. They don't produce. They consume a lot. And people like me that's in sales, we take full advantage of that. And marketing. It's just, mate, don't hate the player, hate the game, as they say. It's just that I'm just here just to tell everybody, in order for you to be that traditional man, you need to keep your overheads low, especially as a young man. You know, you need to think before you leave your family home. You need to, I'm even right now, I've got a 13-year-old kid. I'm teaching him how to be money savvy. You know, he's not leaving my house until he's ready, until he's able to buy his own house. And then goes off and do his own. That is my job as a parent. And I find that a lot of people in certain classes, they do not allow their children to be able to, they don't enrich their children. But I learned this from Jewish people. I've learned this from very rich Chinese, Asian people, how they run their household and why they're so successful in the property game in the UK. They're all doing it. Only a particular class of people are not doing it. They rather hate and rather say, oh, you're flexing, blah, blah, blah. But that's exactly where we want them to be, so that they don't grow their mindset above what their feelings feel, so they can stay in the position that they are while we literally liquidate them.
Well, and this is why I also hold the position, anyone can be rich, just majority of people are not going to choose to be.
Yeah, many people
can be business savvy. Many people can go ahead and educate themselves and get themselves out of a funky situation. Most of them just won't. Because again, we are caught, but then again, and it's from the people who are the quote unquote producers, like you yourself are claiming that you are. It's beneficial for y'all to keep people in the position of consumerism. Oh, you know, you're hearing it from the horse's mouth right now, ladies and gentlemen.
I need to eat. And you know the funny thing, I say it point blank in people's face, just because I know they'll never change. They'll just keep hating. And I like them to be like, but I'm a good person, because no one can turn around and say, I never said anything. I've told you what to do.
From this platform of don't say I didn't warn you.
I didn't say I warn you. So don't come back to me and say I'm a bad guy. I'm not a bad guy. I just told you the game and you didn't like it. And I kept it pushing. Simple. What I do, so you guys, what I do, Cuban, is...
I'm not interested. That is your business. I don't want to know what you do.
No. I mean, it'll be for young people to get in. Yeah. What I do is I look for properties that landlords own, and I lease them. I do rent to rent. I will lease the whole block, so they'll do it for a cheaper rate, and then I'll re-rent that out to the public, either room by room, or I don't do Airbnb. I do it local. So if I go I may go, depending on the location, I might go for 5 studios. I'll take on the whole 5 studios. Now, how I raised my money at the beginning, I walked to the bank and I said to the bank, I would like to borrow money for a car loan. They're more likely to give you money because they want you to be a consumer. So they gave me the money for that. And then I used that money to go and lease out my first ever project. So all I do, I manage multiple different landlords' properties by me signing up for them for the next 3 to 5 years. If I'm lucky, I get it for 10 years. And then I just re-rent it out again. And before I got married and whatever, I took on a whole property and I stayed in one room. And then I rent out the rest of the rooms to generate money for myself. So therefore,
and technically, that actually works out because then whenever the banks are looking at you like, oh, this can't be a rental property, you must live in the property. Well, I'm renting out rooms, and likewise, I do live in the property. So now you're making passive income on people who are going ahead and renting out rooms for anywhere from $500 to $1,000, which is cheap by comparison to renting an apartment.
So the reason why I'm saying this is not to flex, but to show people there is ways for you to make something of yourself today. That's what I'm saying.
Now, here's the thing. Do you think people are actually going to take your advice and run with it?
They wouldn't. They'll just keep hating me.
People are too
The
wrapped
people
up
that are
in
asking,
their
is
own
this
shit.
legal? Actually, this is very legal. Just so y'all know.
Oh yeah, people
I would listen to this guy's advice. Just saying.
After all, I mean, even Arnold Schwarzenegger made his money through real estate like that. People think it was through movies, but it was actually through real estate investments and whatnot. But to like circle back to like what you were saying about people not listening, is like people are too into this idea of you didn't earn this money you didn't earn it the right way, or you don't have a real job. It's like this whole idea of the right way and a quote unquote real
he doesn't
job.
have a real job.
It's like,
He has income.
yes.
Y'all are looking at jobs. He has income.
Yes.
There's a difference.
This idea of a real job or like earning money the right way is keeping you broke. Like people don't want to see that. It's just
I don't want people to be. That's why I keep even the people that come and rent out my rooms. I do say to them, listen, you could just take on a property and rent and just rent out the rest. But what holds them back is, what happens if I can't rent out the room? What happens if I fail? What happens is that? And I said, well, I can't help people. I thought the same thing. I just did it.
you gotta be willing to take a
and
chance.
it comes down, like, you cannot help a person beat their anxieties of failure. You cannot. It's not going to happen. What you can do is give the advice, and if people choose to take it or not, they can see what comes out of it. You might fail. You might be in financial ruin. You might have to pick up a second or a third job just to cover the mortgage. Such is life. But guess what? Someone will bite.
Yeah, you're right.
Someone will bite eventually. It might suck for the first year.
You're 100% right. It's just, I don't know, man. I just get a bit sad for young people, and I just want to try to help them, but they just think I'm flexing, but I'm not flexing. I'm just telling you straight up.
I would absolutely use this as an opportunity to, I don't know if this is what you use your TikTok platform for, but if you're genuinely curious and wanting to help people, and if your content becomes fucking popular enough, you will be monetized by TikTok. I mean, if you want to help people, shit, go ahead and make your entire platform about that. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I'm not going to set promote. I do have another TikTok for the company, but I let the team manage that. They manage it, so no one really knows I'm connected to the company. But yeah, we have a TikTok presence, and he does pretty well. Yes.
So, you guys ready to switch up the conversation?
Oh yeah, gladly.
Oh wow. Why do you act like if you're hot and you're surprised when you treat it? You guys are looking for trouble.
You think I wasn't looking for trouble with the first prompt? Come on now, Secret. And now my face looks like a proper face for a 304. So, like, maybe I don't know, maybe it'll be rage bait. I don't know. It'll be fine.
The comment
This is
section
actually,
has
I
stopped.
have to fucking practice doing my stage makeup because I have a gig on Tuesday. So I'm like, I just need to get into the vibe of what I want this shit to look like. So, no, I don't normally do my face.
There's a singing
Who
gig.
wants to talk about this, y'all?
Notice how the comments came to a grinding halt the moment the topic changed.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely says a lot about, well, the people in the comments view the topic. I'll say that much.
You want me to say? I don't know
Nobody?
what to say to this. To be honest with you, Cuban.
Listen, it's not a cushy question. Why do you act like a hoe and then get surprised when you're treated like a hoe? It's plain and simple.
Would you say that don't know they? Would you say that don't know because of the environment that you're in, that everything's surrounded like that, so therefore they just think it's normal?
No, I don't. I think very, very early on, and I don't know, maybe my upbringing was different. Maybe coming from two immigrant parents who came from kind of a really dredgy fucking place, served me a good education. I don't know. But what I will say is the following. Hoe behavior. We see it in the media. We see it. We've seen it in media growing up the entire time. You have the hoe. She's a bitch. She loses in the end. We see the movies where the chick is, she's the mistress trying to fuck up the marriage. And, and we hate her. We see this type of behavior in, in media. And...
But wouldn't you say that promotes it to be a good thing? I mean, we have the rise of OnlyFans, but someone did.
Not necessarily, because those women don't make nearly as much money as they would have you think they do. And in the case of the mistress, the husband never really leaves the wife for the other woman.
That's why then the fucking mistress gets butt hurt, or whatever the fucking case, or the girlfriend gets butt hurt, or the fucking chick that's, so quick to jump into bed with somebody gets fucking butt hurt when the dude's like, yeah, no, I'm gonna drop you for this chick that I've been pursuing for a while. She's really appealing to me, and I want to pursue something with her. So again, I ask, why is it surprising? Why do some of y'all get surprised? There's nothing wrong with going ahead and being sexually experimental, especially once you are at a point where you are responsible enough to handle the quote-unquote potential repercussions, right? When you're thinking about things from a perspective of safety. But I don't know. I think that's a portion of your life that I don't necessarily think you need to advertise. I think you need to monetize off of being like a hoe. I don't understand why some of y'all dress like fucking, like, these OnlyFans models, go out in public and then be surprised why fucking the dregs of societal males are fucking coming after you. And yeah, it's validating. Oh, look, I'm hot, da-da-da-da-da. And it's really all they want you for is sex because you look easy and you behave easy. You're getting blacked out at a fucking club surrounded by fucking dudes who are just waiting for the champ to jump you. Like, come on.
The
is
downside,
it right? No. Should society be different? Absolutely. But is that kind of the reality of the situation? Not the ideologically, we don't want this to happen. The reality of it is that it does.
Yeah. The problem with pointing that out is it's all too easy for the person in question to flip that and say, if you try to point out, like, all these people are looking at you a certain way and treating you a certain way because of how you present yourself, it's all too easy for that person to flip it around and say, oh, you victim blaming here. Like people are, it's fucked up, but you just being honest in that situation, because that is what's happening. You are...
I was going to say that's how you present yourself as a woman.
Yeah.
You can't be mad. And when women try to flip it like that, it doesn't make sense to me either, because your boobs are out.
It's like, I definitely listen. Yeah. When I go out in public, if I'm dressed in a particularly provocative manner, I'm not surprised when I'm getting attention. I dressed for this shit.
Right.
I knew it was gonna fucking make heads turn.
I know, it's like when women dress half naked and then they're like, oh my gosh, stop looking at me. And I'm like, I mean, I just don't understand. It's like, I just feel like they're, I don't know, just trying to be
Here's the other thing. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be viewed with sex appeal at the same time. You know, number one, like if you want to dress in a way that is very flattering to your shape, your style, and you want to go ahead and kind of up your sex appeal, there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't be surprised when people take notice of that and start regarding you because of your sex appeal.
Also,
Yeah,
it would be insanely demoralizing if no one took notice. Because imagine if a woman dressed all sexy and no one gave a shit.
Can this, I think his name's Nat, or Nath. Can we
get him up?
Yeah, because he said something, he was like, can you bring back the delusional single mom? I'm, like, really confused, because I feel like everybody's focusing on, like, what makes her traditional, or, like, why does she think she's this and this and this? People are too focused on money and everything in the comments.
So, like, he is not available for me to ask him to come in, so I guess either he's left or whatever, I don't know. Jay is right, though. These men will not join. I don't know what's wrong. Y'all get so ballsy in the comments.
Like, I just feel like the whole conversation is everybody acting like women don't deserve anything. Even if they're, like, loving and nice to you and take care of the house, like, they're just so focused on money in the comments about, like, oh, she thinks she's, like, so high value and she thinks she deserves this.
But, Kitty, here's another thing you gotta keep in mind, baby girl. These guys out themselves. These guys out themselves. For the fellas that love to say, oh, women only look at us as paychecks and da-da-da-da-da.
Mm-hmm.
So you believe that about yourself. You do believe that you're only a paycheck.
They don't think they bring any other value, I don't think. And they're scared of being used. It's like the guys who don't even have money are, like, scared of being used for money. And
the guys that don't have money are scared of gold diggers when they don't have any gold to attract a fucking bitch with a shovel. Yeah, no, I agree. What is a 304 and school? I don't know how to fucking pronounce that. It's a hoe. Hoes. Why do you act like a hoe and then get surprised when you're treated like a hoe? That is the question.
It's a desire for all the perks and none of the downside, that's not gonna happen. How do I put this?
You know, and then you want to be jaded because, you know, men are treating you in a way that you are presenting yourself to be, and then you become jaded and it's all men suck. It's like, well, have you considered how you're advertising yourself when you interact with people? Oh, I don't have to advertise shit. People shouldn't be judging me.
Wait, Nath is
here's the fact of the matter. People will judge you. I judge everybody. I may not be fucking blatant, but I judge who I keep around in my circle. I judge who I talk to. I judge because I need you to pass a certain fucking level of access to my personal life. Yeah, no, I will judge. I will judge you accordingly.
I think these guys in the comments think I'm, like, thinking of myself, like, I deserve a bunch of money and I deserve this and I deserve that, and I think so highly of myself. Like, I really don't, and I don't know. I just like these guys in the comments are like thinking.
No, Nev, you should think highly of yourself, and you should want to deserve. You deserve as much money as you want. Yeah, do not fold. You deserve.
Yeah, but I'm
yours.
saying, like, nobody's, like, handed anything in life, and, you know, us humans are really deserving of anything, really. We're looking for stuff, but I think everybody in the comments think I think of myself like almost like a sugar baby mindset.
So, number one, ignore the fucking comments because most of these people are just trying to get a rise out of you.
Yeah.
Number two, I'm gonna give you advice that my father gave me, and it didn't click until after I got out of a really, really toxic, really abusive relationship. My dad would always say, "Vete tu lugar." Put yourself in your place. Which, from from a young, like, 16 to, like, 20-year-old girl's ears, I'm like, what is my place? What are you implying? What are you implying that my place is? Ooh, I could rock a mustache with this shit. No wonder drag is so successful. Look at that. No, but at first I'm like thinking, there is an implication of what place I should be in. And I didn't like that. And here's the thing, I assumed that there was an implication. Yeah. Emotionally, I assumed that he was telling me, be ladylike, act like a lady, be in the kitchen, be in the home, be a fucking nun, don't have any emotions, don't have any desires, don't have any wants. That was how I interpreted that statement. Put yourself in your place. Fucking mind boggled me.
Yeah.
Getting out of a shit relationship taught me the following. Put yourself in your place. Here's the thing. You get to decide what place you put yourself in.
Oh, I think everybody deserves, like, happiness and peace of mind and all that. But I definitely don't think highly of myself, and in the sense of, like, oh, I deserve all this money and I deserve all this and that. And I understand I bring a kid to the table, so if somebody were to tell me, like I said, oh, I don't want to be with you because you have a kid, I wouldn't be like, oh, but I'm pretty and I'm this and I'm that. So, like, I'm not fooling myself like that. Some women do, honestly, sometimes have too high of egos and stuff. And sometimes men do as well. But I think, most women are reasonable. Like, it's like every woman deserves respect and, like, love and stability and peace of mind. You know what I mean? And they want to feel that taken care of. As long as it's, like, reasonable in between your guys' means. They want that for themselves. But some women are, like, unreasonable about it. But, I don't know. Oh, crap.
Cuban, you're talking, but you're on mute.
There's no audio. Something.
There's no audio, Cuban.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something's amiss here, but yeah, gotta. Oh, she's on a call. Keep the live going. Yeah, like. So yeah, on the subject of, like, circling back to, okay, personally, deserves got nothing to do with it from my perspective. Like, what you get, like, you get what you earn. If you want something out of a relationship and you go and you seek that out, it's like, by all means, get that. Because you wanted something and you put in the necessary work to go get it. The concept of deserve, like, the way I see it, would be like, from the way I see it, saying someone deserves something would be to be like, you could do nothing and this thing just materializes in your way, in your direct path, which isn't how life works. So yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
No, I definitely do, like, want certain things for myself. Don't get me wrong, but I don't expect it just to happen, just for me existing, I guess. I've just been praying about it a lot and stuff, but I'm definitely not, like, unreasonable. I think a lot of these guys have, like, these crazy expectations of when women are like, yeah, I want to be traditional. They think they want, like, Louis Vuitton or something every day, when, like I said, a lot of women are reasonable, and they just want to feel taken care of and stuff, and feel secure with their man. And they bring value. A traditional woman brings value to your life. I don't know why people in the comments are acting like they do not, and I don't know.
They do bring value and balance, in the sense of the stuff that the man doesn't do is the stuff that the woman does do. And in other scenarios, it's some stuff that the man can't do, it's the woman who does it. Because, you got, relationships are a give and take, and two people balancing each other out. No relationship is ever truly a 50-50 split, but it's enough to, like, whatever the one person brings to the table is balanced out by the other person. Even if a relationship is 70-30, it's this thing of, the one person brings 70, but that 30% balances everything out. That 30% that's missing that they can't provide on their own.
Yeah, and it's not good for, like, men to be alone. It talks about that in the Bible. I think everybody in the comments, too, are just too focused on money. When women bring other value, just because they're not always bringing money to the table, I don't even think most of the time that's what makes women valuable, is like, oh, how much you make. Maybe more now because it's like more modern now and takes 2 incomes nowadays.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like, I don't feel like as a woman, you bringing money to the table is what makes you valuable all the time.
Plus, women turn dudes down even if they got money. There have been several cases of that. Money. Yeah.
I've had opportunities, like, of guys with money to whatever, like, but if there's no emotional connection, that just seems like a shallow life. I don't want to be shallow like that, just marry for money.
Yeah, even in situations where where the interaction between the man and the woman is transactional and money is involved, you can still be turned down. Like, say, I don't know, like a stripper, or let's call it a lady of the night, per se. Just because you got cash doesn't necessarily mean she has to say yes to you.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of my morals come from me being Christian, but I think if I were to just marry for money, that would be really shallow, and that would be like a sad life. Like, yeah, I'd have money, but like, what else do I have? You wouldn't be happy. I wouldn't be happy, yeah, and it's not worth it to me. So I think in the comments, people are just way too focused on money.
Folks, if you have something you want to add to the conversation, please request to come up and we will bring you up. This whole, we talk tough in the comments, but there's 0 people in the requests. No, we are not having that.
And 10 years, she'll want the same dudes that turned her down back. I'm not going to lie. I talked to one guy, and I guess he had a lot of money. But, I mean, I didn't know him. I didn't like what he was offering me. He basically wanted me to, like, stay at home or something, but, like, he would come home that often. Like, it was weird, and he thought it was okay because he had a bunch of money. And he said the same thing to me, like, oh, in 10 years, you might regret not taking this because I would have this stability. I was like, money's not everything. I would get married again now, or like in a couple years. I have nothing. I don't want to go out and like just party and be a hoe. Like, I like the idea of marriage, but not for the wrong reasons.
Money isn't everything, but it does help.
Oh yeah, it definitely helps. But I wouldn't do things against my morals for money, or live a life just for money.
Yeah. Circling back to the topic of like, why would someone act like a 304 and then be surprised when people start treating them like 304? What are your thoughts on the matter?
Oh yeah, I totally agree. I don't think you can hold yourself like, like a 304 and then be upset when you get treated like one. I totally agree with that. I've seen it firsthand. I've seen girls do it. I've seen them get mad, and I don't say anything. It doesn't really make sense to me. And no, I don't turn people down because I think I can do better. If you're talking about financially, I've had guys with more money, talk to me or whatever, but I'm not going to marry somebody just for money. I want the love, and I want the respect, and I want the connection.
Yeah, it is definitely something to look out for in the world as it is, but in regards to like behaving a certain way and being surprised when people treat you a certain way, it's some cases it's people who aren't aware that there are negatives to acting in a certain way, but in a large number of cases it's people who are aware that, yeah, there is going to be some drawback to me if I dress this kind of way or if I act a certain way among people, but then it's like, this shouldn't be happening though. Or like, you'll see it happen and think, that's not going to happen to me though, for some reason.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody's like really feminist and stuff nowadays and all that, and that it's like almost encouraged on women to like, even in the music and everything, it's pushed on young girls to like be sexual almost, carry yourself like you're sexy, carry yourself like this, it's like pushed on us nowadays. So I think girls think it's okay. Like, even shopping at stores that I used to shop at as a teenager, like, the skirts are getting shorter, the dresses are getting shorter, the tops are getting lower cut in the chest area. Like, I just feel like it's just pushed on our generation, and it's like trying to be normalized and sex is becoming so common too. Like, that's just what you do. It's not bad, but there's like repercussions to that, not just pregnancy. Like, it's just not, like, you hold your value a little bit as a woman. If you sleep around like that, that's not good.
Though there's a level of irony in that, like, in terms of like sex is becoming more commonplace in like rap music and media and whatnot. Hey, there's a big cat over there. But like, but other than that,
he's gonna show you his asshole in a second. Just watch.
I'm waiting.
Oh Jesus!
I'm kidding.
could have gone
You were
my whole
saying?
life without seeing that. Anyway, I was saying, what's ironic is that, weirdly enough, Gen Z doesn't like seeing sex in their media. They don't... Apparently, statistically speaking, Gen Z is having a lot less sex than previous generations, which is odd, given how much we're sexing it up out here in terms of, like, everyday life and the clothes people wear, the music we listen to, and just... But then you hear studies like Gen Z isn't really for that sex shit, so it's like... Also, studies talking about how people are having less babies nowadays. It's very weird.
Yeah, then again, there's also a correlation of that regarding that birth control is an option.
Yeah.
And mind you, I think people should absolutely be using birth control, but there's correlation to that.
Well, the 1950s dream isn't the dream anymore for women, because it was like really abusive and stuff before, and not every woman has that dream to be like a mother and all that.
Yeah. Plus, there's also this thing of, like, previous generations telling the next generation, it's like, well, by my age, I had my own house, I had a job, and this and that and the third. But the reality of the situation is, yeah, I'm your age now. You had those things way back.
25 cents a gallon.
Yeah, exactly. Back then, gas was 25 cents.
It's crazy. You know, I took my kids to, we went to go get some candy. And just the same chocolate bar, the Snickers bar that I was buying back in the day for like 20 cents. Yes, it went up to 50 cents. Now it's so I'm talking in pounds. Yeah, so now it's like £1.10, £1.20 for a chocolate bar. So imagine what it will be in 10 years' time. Imagine you'll be going out, taking your kids out to go and get them a chocolate bar for, let's say, 2-3 chocolates. You'll be paying £10. But that is crazy.
It's gonna be.
I mean, here's another thing to consider. Like, I think the American dollar is, if I'm incorrect, it's just a little bit higher in... I'm gonna punch you, cat. Get off my fucking shit.
No, it's pounds.
It's like what? It's like how many pounds per dollar?
I'll bring it up. But it's low. It's just a little bit lower. Just
yeah, like maybe 10 cents of a difference or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I was
We can't really compare, like, as like older generations can't really compare how life was like back then versus how life is now. You know, like, you can't really look at someone and say, hey, when I was your age, I had all this. Why don't you? Because life is different. Things have changed.
Yeah, that's really true.
But yeah, y'all, it's been real. You know, I always enjoy coming up on you. You know, I'll try to do my best as a moderator on here. Folks, like the live, share the live, do all those things, keep the conversation going, and please pop in the request.
You know, we love having you.
All right.
Yeah, nice talking to you.
Enjoy the rest of your week.
Bye, hun. Be safe, honey.
What a wonderful live that was. Folks, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all them nice things. I've been your host, your Moonlight King, right here on Man on the Moon's podcast, the Moonlight Kingdom Podcast. Take care of yourselves out there. And remember, we are who we are. No point arguing with ourselves or anyone else about it.